Now, guess who's in the news again for all the wrong reasons? That's right, it's our old friend, Socialist Democrat Mayor of New York, Zohran Mamdani. He committed a cardinal sin, becoming the first city mayor in nearly 100 years and possibly ever to skip the installation of the new local archbishop, a tradition that's gone back to at least 1939. But Mamdani decided he had better things to do than help honor the new leader of one of the largest groups of Catholics in the country. Joining me now to discuss this and a lot more is proud New Yorker senior consultant at Beck and Stone, Emma Jo Morris. Emma Jo, welcome to the program. I did some quick numbers on it. New York has had, I think, 4 Catholic, 3 Protestant, and I think 3 Jewish mayors. Every one of them has gone to this sort of installation. It seems like a bit of a snub to what is, I think, still a pretty important religious group in New York City.
Yeah, that's for sure. I wonder how intentional it was that he snubbed Catholics, or that he just has no real regard for the seriousness of religion. I see him as sort of this anti-religious progressive who doesn't seem to respect the institution at all. But that said, this is just part of a series of moments of incompetence from Mamdani, and this has basically been since day one. It's stunning how he's been able to do this rapid succession of disasters in almost record time.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really interesting thing to me, Emma Jo, is, like, I grew up in New York City, and I know that in New York, it's a place unlike anywhere else I've ever lived. When the government changes and when policy is dialed in, you feel the results on the streets almost immediately, unlike, when Congress or Parliament here passes a law. And we saw this again with these new deadly low temperatures in New York City. Data has revealed that 96% of pleas to help homeless people through a special hotline never actually led to any assistance. They were urged to call a number 311 to help put people in homeless shelters, but in virtually every case, that didn't happen. This is real crisis of government stuff from supposedly a Democrat socialist who's supposedly wants to help the poorest of the poor, i.e. the homeless.
Not only, but specifically said the warmth of collectivism is what we would all feel. Well,
Yeah.
apparently not the dozen dead homeless people during the winter storm that just passed. It's really unfortunate. It's really sad. That was the result of him, galaxy brain, deciding to take away a policy where when the temperatures are going to reach a certain level, the police go and basically kind of forcibly take homeless people into shelters. And he decided that, I suppose, was cruel or right wing or something, and just stopped it from happening. So you had a bunch of dead homeless people. Obviously, this wasn't an exercise of law enforcement per se. It was moving people out of the way of hypothermia and death. So that was that. And you're right, though. That's the thing, is like, people treated especially this one, treated this New York mayoral election like a national election. It's not. It's a local election for the people who live here. Maybe it's a national election for progressives who think that this is going to be somehow some sort of litmus test for the future of the Democratic Party, which is how it was treated by talking heads. But for the people who are just taxpayers here, who are walking down the streets here, I mean, I was walking down the street last week looking at a dead rat frozen in a ice snowbank next to a pile of garbage that was 4 feet tall. That's a Democratic prize.
And I mean, is this what Democrats are thinking now? Oh, we're going to run on the Mamdani kind of platform now? I mean, do they think they're going to win the midterms running sort of a bunch of Mamdani-style campaigns?
Well, the progressive part of the Democratic Party does. I don't know if your viewers are super familiar with this. It may be deep cuts, but the Democratic Party now is undergoing a civil war between progressives and the establishment. So think like Nancy Pelosi versus AOC in a very superficial way. And the progressives are really vying for leadership here, and they think that Mamdani was a bellwether, that he shows that, no, this is actually the Democratic future.
Yeah, wow. Well, that's be interesting to see on a national stage. Hey, speaking of other stories on a national stage here, This story
It'll
is
be a
gripping
delight.
the world here at the moment. The one out of Arizona, and people in Australia too are absolutely fascinated by this. The case of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the mother of TV host Savannah Guthrie. She is still missing after what appears to have been some sort of abduction. Tell us what is happening with this story, and why do you think it has gripped not just the nation, but the world? I was thinking about this earlier. It almost feels like kind of our version of the Lindbergh baby or something.
Yeah, it is. It's just this horrifying thing, and why it's gripped the nation. I mean, yeah, I'm sure it's definitely the same in Australia. I guess like the morning show is kind of the show that is in everybody's household. Everybody knows Savannah Guthrie, and feels like they have some sort of personal relationship with her, just as a newscaster, and the story itself is like one of the most horrific, mortifying things you can imagine. Obviously, everybody loves their mother, and to imagine this mystery falling on you and this horror falling on your family is just chilling. So yeah, she was abducted, and what I thought really kind of brought the story to life was when they released the photo of the abductor,
Mm.
which you can see on your screen next to me. The B-roll there is him, and it's just like this, like it feels like like you're living in a living nightmare or in a horror movie or something, imagining that demon entering your home and abducting your 85-year-old mother. There's something I think particularly disgusting, repulsive, horrific, sinful about the abuse and harm of a child or an elderly woman, or an elderly person. And I
Yeah.
think that the fact that she is 85 or 86, like, just really hits a specific nerve. She's a mother that hits a specific nerve. She is the mother of a woman who we are all familiar with as Americans. That hits another nerve, and it's just driving people insane, I think,
Yeah.
understandably.
Hey, just one more thing before I let you go, because the Winter Olympics are on at the moment, and I love the Winter Olympics much more than the summer ones. That's just me. But the J.D. Vance, the vice president here, he had a nice old shot at some of these athletes who are using platforms to discuss politics. Have a look at this.
My advice to them would be to try to bring the country together. And when you're representing the country, you're representing Democrats and Republicans. You're there to play a sport, and you're there to represent your country and hopefully win a medal. You're not there to pop off about politics.
I mean, amen to that, but this was after U.S. skier Hunter Hess said he had mixed emotions about representing the country. Your reaction?
Yeah, it's pretty despicable. I love the Winter Olympics too, and there was a day maybe in my teenagehood when I was bombing down hills maybe as fast as these guys. But yeah, it's pretty despicable. Sports is supposed to be a unifying thing that we can all love, and the sports heroes that we have are aspirational and wholesome. And this is supposed to be just one thing you'd hope that politics doesn't have to contaminate, but alas, apparently that's impossible because Orange Man bad, as usual.
Orange man bad, going for gold. Emma Jo Morris, always so good to get your thoughts and have a chat. Thanks so much for coming on the program.